Hey everyone, Erick Stakelbeck here. Today on the Newscast, the leader of Hezbollah says that a great war with Israel is coming, but he doesn't seem to realize that he will be on the wrong end of it. Get all the details coming up. Hey folks, Erick Stakelbeck here. Welcome to the Watchman Newscast. If you've been watching us here on YouTube, every Tuesday and Thursday over the past several months, you know that we've been talking frequently about the coming Great Northern War. That is, a coming conflict between Israel and the Iranian regime and its proxies in Syria and Lebanon, in particular, Hezbollah. Folks, this is going to be a very nasty affair. Again, on one side, the Iranian regime, probably the Assad regime of Syria, Hezbollah in southern Lebanon and in Syria, and these various Shia militias from Iraq, even Pakistan and Afghanistan that Iran has brought into Syria at Israel's doorstep. We don't know when this conflict is coming, but when I talk to Israeli officials, especially in the Israel Defense Forces on my trips to Israel filming for the Watchman TV show, they all tell me it's not a question of if, but when. So this Great Northern War is coming. Hezbollah is ready for it. They are armed for the teeth, as we have explained here on the newscast many times. At least 130,000 rockets and missiles aimed at every inch of Israel. Intentions, according to the leader of Hezbollah, we'll get into him in a second, Sheikh Hassan Nasrallah, intentions of invading northern Israel. Israel uncovered this Hezbollah underground tunnel complex in late 2018 and destroyed it, but that showed you the intention of Hezbollah, not only to bombard every inch of Israel with rockets and missiles, but to possibly invade, not a large-scale invasion, but some sort of invasion on the ground into northern Israel, into the Galilee, into beautiful communities like Metula along that Israel-Lebanon border. Hey, to basically plant that green and yellow Hezbollah flag, take pictures of it, capture it on video, and beam those images around the world for propaganda value. Even if Hezbollah only held an Israeli village, God forbid, for 5 minutes, that's a propaganda victory for them if they get that picture and get that video. So that's one end of what Hezbollah is trying to do with the rockets, the missiles, with a potential ground incursion into northern Israel. And remember, we've also told you about these precision-guided munitions, PGMs for short, which would take those Hezbollah rockets and missiles, that very large stockpile, and would make them precision-guided, meaning it would increase their accuracy against targets in Israel to a very dangerous extent. So this is what we have. This is the situation that's looming. We have this collision course where the Iranian regime is in Syria. They believe they are in Syria to stay. And Israel says, no way. We will not allow Iran and Hezbollah to set up shop on the Golan Heights on our border in Syria. It's an existential threat. It's a non-starter. So the only outcome here, folks, I see is if Iran digs in its heels and says we're not going anywhere, and Israel says, we can't allow you to be there because you're committed to our destruction. We obviously cannot allow you to be perched on our northern border. I think the only outcome here eventually is a showdown. And now the leader of Hezbollah, Sheikh Hassan Nasrallah, is saying the same thing. He gave a speech Tuesday night, May 26th, to a Lebanese radio station. It was picked up by Al-Manar, Hezbollah's own satellite TV network. Yes, they have their own television network. And Nasrallah said, a great war, his words, not mine. Again, we've been talking about the Great Northern War here on the Watchman Newscast. Nasrallah said that, quote, a great war is coming that will attack Israel from all fronts and that will result in the end of Israel. Now, this is what Nasrallah is saying. He's saying it's all fronts. I believe the main front will be that northern front for the reasons I just described, although Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, also Iranian proxies in Gaza to Israel's southwest, surely will throw their hats in the ring as well when this great conflict erupts. But the main front will be up north. But how very interesting to see Nasrallah, to see the bad guys saying the same thing that we've been saying here on the newscast, and that Israeli officials, more importantly, have been saying as well. Nasrallah has been in hiding for 14 years, moving around from bunker to bunker underground ever since Israel and Hezbollah's last major conflict in the summer of 2006. 14 years since Nasrallah has moved around in public and freely showed his face, but once in a while he does poke his head out and record a video statement for his followers in Hezbollah. He did just that on Friday, May 22nd. The occasion was the 20-year anniversary of the Israel Defense Forces pullout from southern Lebanon. Now, obviously, Nasrallah was celebrating this as a great milestone and a great event, and he used it, of course, to threaten the destruction of Israel. He called Israel a virus and a cancerous tumor that will be destroyed. This is pretty common rhetoric, sadly, for Hezbollah, for the Iranian regime, but there was another important nugget from Nasrallah's speech that I wanted to bring out here that not many people were talking about. He said that the U.S. government is the main enemy. Now, we've been saying this on the newscast, folks, that Hezbollah and the Iranian regime consider Israel the little Satan. They call the United States the great Satan. They see the United States as the ultimate villain and the ultimate prize because they see the U.S. as an enabler of Israel and, according to Nasrallah in the speech last week, as also an enabler of the Sunni Arab nations like Jordan, like the Saudis, like Egypt, like the UAE, and the Gulf states. But to them, the United States is the fount of all evil. And if you look at Hezbollah's track record, their actions back up those beliefs. Hezbollah has more American blood on its hands than any other terrorist group besides Al-QAEDA. Think back to the 1983 U.S. Marine barracks bombing in Beirut. 243 brave U.S. servicemen killed by a Hezbollah suicide bomber on the orders of the Iranian regime, and many other attacks that Hezbollah has been involved in, plots. We've had Hezbollah operatives arrested here on U.S. soil, scouting out targets in New York City, Washington, D.C., and elsewhere. So I think it's very important for everyone out there watching to realize this is not just Israel's fight when it comes to the Iranian regime and Hezbollah and that Iranian axis that, look, stretches from Tehran to Baghdad in Iraq, to Sana'a in Yemen with the Houthis, to Damascus in Syria with the Assad regime, and of course to Beirut in Lebanon with Hezbollah. This is a world threat. This is a threat not just to Israel. It's a threat to the Sunni Arab nations, obviously. It's a threat to Europe. It's a threat to the United States. It's a threat to the free world. No matter if you're in the West, the East, no matter where you live, if you love freedom and democracy and all that's good and true, this regime in Tehran and its proxy Hezbollah, they stand against you. Now, one more interesting thing to point out about Hezbollah. On our May 19th newscast, you can check it out here on YouTube on our archives, and be sure to subscribe and click that notification button while you are there. On that May 19th newscast, we talked about a very interesting verse from the book of Jeremiah that says the threat to Israel will come from the north. Now, Hezbollah last week, they were very busy in recent days, released a propaganda video showing Hezbollah commandos shooting at a flag with the Star of David on it, the typical threats to destroy Israel. But in that video, they also quoted from Jeremiah and said that the destruction of Israel will come from the north. Very interesting. Perhaps Hezbollah is watching the Watchman newscast. If they are, I would encourage them to go a little further to the book of Ezekiel, chapters 38 and 39, which talk about a major invasion of Israel, the war of Gog and Magog, and it doesn't end too well for the invaders. They perish on the mountains of Israel, I'm presuming in the north where the threat comes from. Now, before we go, I just want to remind you of our great partnership with Ahava, the world leader in Dead Sea skin products. Ahava, a great Israeli company with incredible products. Hey, a great Father's Day gift. They make products for men. I use their aftershave lotion, but for mom, for your daughter, your sister, your aunt, anytime, they have top-notch products. We have a special deal with Ahava where Watchman viewers, Watchman newscast viewers, will get 25% off, a 25% discount off of all Ahava products. And the best thing about it is a part of the proceeds from every sale will go to needy Israeli families that had been affected by this COVID-19 economic shutdown. So you are blessing Israel, number one, by supporting an Israeli company, supporting the Israeli economy, and number two, blessing needy Israeli families. Hey, that's a great thing in my view. So you can go, you see the link there at the bottom of your screen, you can use it. Also go to the description section underneath this video. You will find the link and you can go to Ahava and get their great products. Until next time, thanks so much for joining us, folks. Hang in there no matter where you are in the world. We are praying for you and we appreciate your support here. We are about to cross the 76,000 subscriber mark. Pretty good. So we're getting close to 100,000 and we can't do it without you. We want to take this message far and wide around the world for such a time as this. So until next time, next Tuesday, I guess, God bless you. And remember, never hold your peace.